Wait.
Dishwasher sounds.
Hi guys, welcome to another...
Whoa, I was not ready.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this one, what we're doing is we got a bunch of awesome stuff. We got a bunch of different types of tubing for sponge filter system. We got a bunch of new sponge filters. You can't find these anywhere because nobody makes money on them, but we found a bunch more sponge filters, which are great for the setup we have. We got a new heater for our quarantine tank. We got a quarantine tank. And then we also got a surprise thing, which is in here and we're gonna cut open right now. So we got 2 packs of this screen mesh. And what we're gonna use this for is to cover the both sides of the 75-gallon Paludarium. And that will allow us to heat it with the heat bulbs because they have to be put on mesh, they can't be put on glass. And it will allow us to put our reptile, Anakin, the Bahaman Anole, into the Paludarium in this video. So I'm super excited for it. We might not be able to do it all right now, but it will be all in this video. You might just have to give me like half an hour to unravel this. This is really taut. Hey guys, so we may have postponed the whole moving of everything for a little bit because there's kind of multiple parts to it. First part is the quarantine tank because we're trying to get the fish out of that 40-gallon, trying to help what's left to survive. If you guys are wondering, we have a few ghost catfish, a few dwarf neon rainbows that are still alive, and I think that's pretty much everything, which is really sad because we had over like 50 fish in there once upon a time. So we're gonna get that quarantine tank going first just so we can save them. And then second is we're going to put Anakin into the 75-gallon Paludarium. But to do that, there's a whole bunch of steps. Now, I told you guys that we got some equipment for the 5-gallon quarantine tank. We also, while we were out, got some more cork bark. So we're going to use that as a little ramp for the Anole to get from the terrarium side of things to the aquatic side of things. This is the state of the 40-gallon aquarium right now. Awful. Like half the water's in there, medication's just kind of sitting. Honestly, at this point, I've just kind of stopped medicating because if I'm doing a full dose every 2 days and it's still not doing anything except for stress the fish out and possibly be part of the reason why they're dying, then it's not really worth it to use it. There are other medications that are better than this that I would recommend. But it's too late to treat, obviously. I mean, like, it's in full apocalypse mode.
POV, your Hope's height.
Hope's carrying out a massive bucket of water right now. So we've got some water in here. As you guys can see, we've got the air pump and the sponge filter connected to it working. We're just going to have that running right now because it's getting really late. And then we'll pick up where we left off in maybe tomorrow even. Hey guys, so day 2 of working to get the reptile in this Paludarium. The big part of that is getting this steel mesh on there. You can see it right there. Very sharp, which is why I'm wearing gloves. And basically what we're thinking of doing is really we're just going to be using a lot of duct tape because these are all very raw materials. You know, we have sheets of glass, we have sheets of mesh. It's not fitted to the terrarium, so what we're going to do is we're going to seal it all off with duct tape. We're going to try to keep as much glass on there as we can, so we might do like 50% glass, 50% mesh, just so that we can keep a lot of that humidity in there, so we don't have to be misting so much, and so there's not so much evaporation from the aquarium, because then we'll have to be refilling it more. The test we're going to do right now is if this mesh will hold the light. I think it will, but I'm not quite sure. So here we've got our UVB bulb. Now, it should just barely fit under there. Nice. Okay, and that's just going to go like that. And we're going to have a little basking platform with the bark we have over there. And they're going to love it up there, I think. Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. So today, Hope and I are hopefully going to be able to put Anakin in the 75-gallon Paludarium. Before she gets here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out these Isopods and these Springtails, check their population, and probably put a few more in before Anakin goes in. We're also going to plant this pothos, which I haven't been growing very well recently, and I thought that I was misting it enough. I was misting it twice a day, but I actually took the pot out and I realized that these giant leaves were shielding the soil that it was planted in from getting hydrated. So it's actually been getting probably like no water this entire time. which is why this very fast-growing plant has not been very fast-growing. Another thing, I've lost 3 Harlequin rasboras, which is kind of odd because I've only had them for a few months now. They were doing really well for a while, and now they're kind of starting to drop off, and I'm hoping that it's not parasites. Like I said before, there was only that one snail that got in for a few minutes that could have brought parasites over, but everyone looks pretty healthy. Everyone's still hungrily going for food, so I don't think they have parasites, but there is, maybe it's just age, I'm not sure, I'll keep an eye on it. So I put one of the Harlequin rasboras that was kind of fading off into the quarantine tank just to see if I can bring him back and maybe diagnose what's going on. And then the other 2 have just kind of faded into the aquarium and just kind of decomposed before I could get to them. Alright, I've said my piece, so let's get to rearranging this paludarium a little bit. Okay, so as you can see here, that's the mesh. We've got the gang valves over there for the air pump. As I said, it's kind of working, but not as well as I thought it would. There's not a ton of air pressure, so... But then again, it is divided between 4 sponges. I'm a little concerned with how difficult it's going to be to get back here. So hopefully it's not too much of an issue. Then again, that's why we're doing all of our planting and stuff now while there's no lizards in there. Okay, now we don't exactly need to open up the container. I'll show you guys a little cinematic, but we don't even need to open up the container to see that the springtail population is absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys can see very well right there, so I'll probably have a cinematic up right now. But the springtails are just growing like crazy. I'm not going to be running out of springtails anytime soon. I think I'm going to keep cultivating them inside of this container, but I'm just happy to see something growing so well. Next up we have the isopods, and they're a little bit more hidden, but they've been eating pretty well, and I've seen a lot of babies. I'm going to sort through them in a cinematic for you right now. Yeah, you know what? I can see a lot, even just moving the top layer, so that's really good. We're going to put more of these guys in as well. Okay guys, so I hope it's not too loud because the sponges are a little bit more exposed now. But we put in, well, first we had to take off the top, which was a little spooky, and I think some stuff dropped off. But once we did, the top is exposed, and it looks so weird to have the top exposed. I kind of like it, and at the same time, I don't. Like, it's cool to work on it like this, but I think I like it with the top a little bit better. Hopefully we won't have to do this again, but if we do, I guess we have the glass and we're gonna have the mesh on there, so it's not really that big of a deal, but I just prefer not to. So that's why we're getting all the scaping and stuff done right now. Now, as you guys can see, I put in some springtails and they look really good. I also put in some isopods and they look really good. And it's just so rewarding to see the populations booming like this. In the containers, yeah, in the controlled environment. But, well, I guess they're both controlled environments, but also in the 75 gallon, in the paludarium, under all the soil and leaves and stuff like that, you can see a lot of these little bugs crawling around, working away. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant the pothos. We're gonna make sure that it's well watered this time. And we're also going to put in the woodscape and see what we can do with that.
That's bright.
It's so bright. Hey guys, so, whoa. Welcome back
Wait,
to
is this a
Fish
Matt
Keeps
Keeps
Matt.
Fish?
What? Hi guys, so Hope is now here. We're gonna take a pause on working on the paludarium and go get some duct tape because that fixes everything. And I'm also gonna study a little bit for my driver's test, which is tomorrow, so hopefully I pass that. Duct tape. Hi guys, so we're back. I may have gotten locked out of my car and maybe we had to call a tow truck to unlock it. Don't tell my parents that though. We're going to complete this lid. Before that, we're gonna decorate the insides. Once we're done decorating the inside of the terrarium part, we're gonna finish with the top with a mixture of mesh and glass and a lot of duct tape. And then Anakin, the reptile, will go in.
You better watch out. I'll beat you with this stick.
And then Anakin, the Bahamut Anole, will go in. So, stay tuned.
Can't get out. It's safe and sound.
Once again, time has slipped away, but we have gotten quite a bit done, not including getting Anakin in the paludarium. It's still going to be in this video, I promise. We're going to do it right now. But I just want to show you guys first kind of what we've done. I'll show you in the cinematic here. So we've gotten the cork bark, kind of, and the cork sticks, I guess we could call them, going across the water, so there's lots of room for Anakin to climb around, and all the other Bahamut Anoles that we eventually get. So there's lots of space for them there. We also have the big piece of cork bark, the big cork tube, I guess you could call it, in the terrarium side. We planted the plant, what's it called, pothos, underneath it. because apparently this plant doesn't like a lot of light, so I'm going to give it a little bit of shade, and then it can grow out of the light, or it can grow into the light as it so chooses. It's also closer to the water, so I'm hoping that it's going to be able to eventually vine up and into the water with time. Of course, the biggest thing, we also put the mesh and the glass on the top, so it's held in with duct tape. If there is an issue with duct tape and reptiles, please let me know, guys, because I'm completely new to this and I really need to know. Just double checked the whole duct tape and reptiles thing. As long as it doesn't stick to them and peel off their skin, then it's okay. And since it's only on the outsides of the paludarium, it should be fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put my boy Anakin into this paludarium, and we're actually going to see how well he swims first, because with Bahama anoles, with green anoles, they've actually been found in swamp environments, which means that either they've adapted to have a buoyancy to them, or they always had it, and they've just now been able to use it in the wild. Real quick, before I put Anakin in, I just wanted you guys to know that we're also going to be putting in some glass on top of the mesh just to hold in a little bit more humidity. And I just want to make sure you guys knew that I'm going to be making sure this guy does not drown. I'm not going to just throw him in there. I have done my research to make sure that he has buoyancy, that he's able to swim. I just want to see the test in person. I'll be right there for him in case he starts floundering. Okay, so in a not very graceful way, Anakin is now in the paludarium. He's stressed out, of course, after being grabbed by a massive hand. And he's just kind of perched up on the cork bark above the water. I turned the lights down low so that he can calm down, because like I said, he's a little stressed out, and I closed the blinds, so he's chilling in there. He's figuring out all the little nooks and crannies that he can explore. I'm going to set up the basking lamp for him. I'm going to set up the UVB for him, and I put a rock in there. I'm not sure how well it's going to work as a heat rock, but it's just another little bit of terrain for him to explore, and something that I think looks pretty cool in the overall paludarium. Hey guys, quick and random and absolutely nonsense update for you guys anyways, but basically I filmed a thing about where I lost Anakin, and then I found him, and he was in the paludarium the whole time, but I realized that I probably need to do a better job of making this and just like talking about how maybe I need some experience to truly do well in this. And anyways, long story short, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Basically, I don't know what else to do. If you guys have ideas on how to build this paludarium so it's better, let me know. I suppose it's working, because the tape is actually holding Anakin in. I mean, day 2, as far as that goes. Or day 3? I don't know. But basically what happened is I didn't see him. Like, for a whole day, I didn't see him, and I was kind of freaking out, and you reptile people probably are thinking, well, of course you don't see him, because he's hiding. That's what reptiles do. I'm new to this, guys. I don't know this kind of stuff. Also, there's a cool little spider in here, so biodiversity, am I right? Anyway, so I didn't see him, and that kind of freaked me out, and I think what would help him to kind of come out more, because he's hiding right above the foam board 24/7. So I think what would help him to come out more, and what would calm my nerves more, because I'd see him a little better, is to have some foliage in there. So instead of being right pressed up against the back or behind the foam background, he's going to be kind of in the foliage and feel like that's protecting him. So I'm going to take some of the aquarium plants and I'm going to put those in there. They're not going to look the best, but I think they are going to help with his assertiveness a little more. All right, plants are going in. Enjoy the cinematic. Subscribe, like, share, whatever the other Matthew said in the last clip, and I will see you guys next Sunday.